Can you guys hear me? Oh, thank you. So my topic is today to talk to you. Oh, by the way, first of all, I'm Michael Messele. I'm from Pillar, one of the earlier wallets in the EVM ecosystem in Ethersport, a Web3 infrastructure company. My talk today was to tell you a little bit more about account abstraction and its role. But I felt maybe I have to give you a little bit more context and put it in terms of the context of abstracting the whole of Web3. And account abstraction is the beginning step of abstraction for Web3. What do we mean by that? Okay, before I go into it, I mean, account abstraction has been around for a while. How many of you guys have heard about account abstraction? The whole lot of you, pretty much. How many of you guys know how it works? Some of you. So what I would do is I'll just give you a brief overview on how it works and tell you what we have currently, what we will have in the near future, and what we will be having in terms of the medium term. So, click. So, basically, account abstraction will give us the things we take for granted in our Web2 lives, where if I lose my account, I can get it back. If I am doing some transaction, like my credit card at the moment, there is a credit card surcharge, but I don't need to know about it. Someone does it, so why do I have to pay gas? Can you abstract that away? Can I log in using social methods? Oh, why do I have to click 50 times to do one thing? Say if I'm staking on some protocol, can someone abstract that away and make it so that I can just click once? And all this while not compromising our non-custodialship. And things such as session keys would be implemented in that I can delegate a portion of what I want to do to a third party, but I can say to them, you can only spend this much, you can only interact with this smart contract, and you can only do this specific instruction. So really, the whole idea is to make Web3 feel a lot more like Web2. So then you say, okay, so is this really real? Yes. There are quite a lot of dApps in terms of DeFi dApps and gaming dApps that have implemented account abstraction. But this example I wanted to show you was actual real-life festival in Thailand. And it happens once a year. And the organizers, they're called Freedom App. What they've done is they've implemented the ticketing system over a blockchain, Fuse blockchain. But the people that buy it do not know about it. You can buy a drink in that event, you just scan a QR code. You can buy a t-shirt, scan a QR code. You can buy other things, scan a QR code. On top of that, they run their loyalty scheme on top of it. And customers benefit from having those loyalty bonus tokens in a non-decentralized way. And none of them know that this is running over a blockchain, at least most of them. Never mind them knowing about the account abstraction. They shouldn't really need to know about it. If we want Web3 to be the norm, it should be abstracted away. So account abstraction is the entry point. And you might ask me, well, I have a few wallets. I use Trust Wallet, I have MetaMask, and I have Pillar Wallet. So you're asking me to get yet another wallet? Yeah, you might say that. And you are in luck. There is a Pectra release of Ethereum coming in February. Within this release, one of the EIPs released the 7702. What it does is it effectively enables your EOA to behave just the same way I've mentioned earlier on, where someone can pay the gas on your behalf and you don't need to know about it, or whether you can use it for a one-click action transaction instead of clicking so many times. So that is a big breakthrough for the existing Web3 community. But the account abstraction, the smart account aspect, will be beneficial for the newcomers, for the Web2 guys, where someone can log in using their social login, their Facebook account, their Twitter. Whereas in terms of the current 40 million or so EOA users, they can just use their current wallet and have an enhanced, enriched experience. And again, this is a progress, but that's nowhere near where we want to go to. Look at this. Imagine I went to New York. If I go to New York tomorrow and use Uber, I paid the driver, say $20, but my Uber account is connected to my British pounds account. No one is asking me, oh, Mr. Messele, can you do an FX between GBP and USD? That's not the way Web 2 works, because the FX is abstracted away. Why can't we do that in the Web 3 space then? Why do I have to have, oh, if I have assets in over three chains, why do I have to know, oh, I have an asset in this one, I bridged this one, I actually did a fiat on ramp. Why should I need to deal with that? That's why we need chain abstraction. The chain abstraction means in the near future, what we will have is when I have an intention. Say, I'll give you a use case example here. Let's say I have 200 USDC on Arbitrum, and all I wanted to do was 10% interest. I don't want to know how to stake it, where to boost it. I just want 10% interest. That's my intention. Hence, you can call it intent. So there are mechanisms to capture that intent and pass them over to these little bots, which we call them solvers. These little bots or solvers compete amongst each other, and they say, guess what? I've got the best one for you. And maybe there are 20, 30, 40 of those that came up. And I say, I choose this one. When I choose one of them, the one I chose maybe gets the solution from Optimism, Fuse, Gnosis, 3 chains for argument's sake. Now, in this case, with chain abstraction, I'm not going to be asked to bridge the liquidity over. My 200 USDC will be available in the other chains accordingly. And those solvers would execute those transactions on my behalf. Even better, no one is going to ask me to go and get the gas money. Some of the constructs I have mentioned to you in the account abstraction would help me to pay for the gas on my behalf. Even better, nowadays, when you do transactions over the chain, there are things where I can be front run, or I can be sandwich attacked, MEV complexities. With this construct that we have, that will be abstracted away for me. I will be protected from MEV attacks. Even better, I might even, depending on the transaction I make, I might even benefit from what we call back running, basically selling a little bit of a slot to the next transaction that executes after me, then they can benefit from it and they will share the loot with me. So really, I will say to you guys, next time, this time next year, and we're in South London, and there was a guy called Delboy that said that quite often, but not like him, but this time next year, you might see some dApps that can traverse the various blockchains in such an abstracted way, where we'll be saying, I just use the web, not Web 3. Where we'll be saying, yep, because right now, I didn't go around tweet and say, oh, I just used the crowdsourced Web 2 application. I just tweeted, because that's where we want this to get to. So, yeah, I'm ahead of my time as well. So if any of you guys have any interest in knowing more about chain abstraction, account abstraction, we at Etherspot specialize in creating solutions and advisories for anyone interested. Please reach out to us. So I suppose I have 1 minute left. If anyone has any question, I can give you an answer as well. Any questions by any chance? Awesome. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.